Hi guys, thank you for watching this video. My name is Heidi Jepson and welcome back to me. After 6 months, I am making another video and I am really excited about this video for a couple reasons. First of all, it's been so long since I made a video, and actually I have made some other videos, I just chose not to post them for the reason I'm about to talk about. Perfectionism. I have not posted those videos really because they weren't perfect. Not just the videos, but I wasn't perfect. And when I was making those videos at the end of last year, I started to realize and have some struggles with the fact that the things I was asking you to do, the suggestions I had about self-talk and writing declarations and saying power statements, I wasn't doing perfectly. So when I didn't do it perfectly, I was so unmotivated to make another video, because I was like, how can I tell these people, hey, yeah, go and do this thing when I'm not doing it? That's so hard for me. I was holding myself at such a really, really high standard, which if I had shared those feelings of like, hey, I'm still making a video and I didn't do this perfectly, I bet that would have helped a lot of people, at least one. So that's what I'm working on right now, is not having a complete black and white, like good or bad. I'm good or bad. I'm awesome or I suck, you know, like there's a gray. Like I do have the opportunity to be a human, you know, and cutting myself some slack. Being able to do that and practicing that over the last little while has helped me so much, cutting myself some slack. So in going along those same lines, I have been reading this book, or I read this book, I listened to it, it was an audiobook. It's called Intuitive Eating. I'm not sure if any of you are familiar with it or if you've read it, and if you haven't, I would suggest that you read it. I don't care who you are, I would suggest you read it, but especially if you have been on more than one diet in your life. I believe I'm speaking to a lot of women out there, and some men, but I really recommend this. And this having been said, this is something I'm saying after having in the last year tried to diet, I'm trying to count here, at least 4 different times, pretty much the same diet, but trying to start and stop, probably more than that, honestly, probably closer to 8 times just in the last year. So you could probably imagine my feelings of like up and down, around, and all over the place, not knowing how I feel about myself or my body, not trusting food, and in fact starting to really hate food because I'm like, you bring me so much misery, which is not necessarily true. I am a product of my upbringing, and I started dieting when I was 12 years old. I tried the Atkins diet when I was 12 years old. I had older family members who were doing that diet, and I honestly did not need to lose weight. I was a little bit, I guess, chubby for a 12-year-old, but not really. And so I had a lot of negative feedback from some of my family members about like my body weight and how I needed to do something about it before I got heavy or it got out of control. I was 12, mind you. Let's keep that in mind. That had been happening for a long time, though. It wasn't just when I was 12. When I was 12 was the first time I decided, well, maybe I would try a diet. But up until that point, I just had some like family members who clearly had some body issues themselves, addressing my body and pointing out flaws in my body to me. So that's something I wouldn't suggest that you do to anyone young, and something that I really learned from. So although that was harmful to me as a kid, I feel grateful at the same time because that is not something I want to do to my future children or any other children I come into contact with, really. So that's something to keep in mind. But I started when I was 12 dieting, and I have been on so many diets I can't even tell you. I can't even fathom how many times I have thought to myself, tomorrow I will start another diet. Tomorrow I will be better, but tonight I'm going to eat this and this and this and this and this because tomorrow I can't have any. Tomorrow this food won't always be available, so I go into this like, gotta have it all, you know? And intuitive eating talks about that. It's like they wrote a book for me. I've been listening to it, and I turned to my husband it's like they wrote this book for me. I'm like crying, they wrote this book for me. That's so cool. So if I felt that way, I know at least one of you will feel that way about that book if you go to it with an open heart and you are in the right place to receive it. So I recommend that. So my relationship with food right now is I guarantee I'm at the heaviest weight that I've ever been because I'm at the biggest pant size I've ever been. But I am an intuitive eater, and I am learning. There's an intuitive eater inside of me who is ready to come forth, and I am preparing her to come forth, and I have been for the last month, which is a really freeing thing. I believe in healthful eating, that there is certain food that is better for us than other foods, but when we constantly tell ourselves, no, you can't have this, then you want to have it. So if you tell yourself, yeah, you can have it, which is what has happened to me, when I know that I can have more pizza later, I don't need to eat 5 slices of pizza. I only eat until I'm full. And although I'm not perfect at this, I am learning to be much better. And sometimes it's hard because I'm used to dieting. Like with dieting, you get this kind of high, like, oh yes, I can picture myself in a bikini in 6 months. You know what I mean? And you don't get that from intuitive eating. Definitely, you can lose weight doing intuitive eating, and it would be natural if you're not at your normal weight to lose weight while you're intuitive eating. But it's not the goal, and it's stated clearly that shouldn't be the goal in intuitive eating. And so that's been a very big shift to love myself where I'm at and to not want to be apologetic about my body to myself or other people. That is a huge change that has occurred within me. And that's continuing to occur because I still have days, even a couple days ago, where I was like, I just want to go on another diet. I want to see those pounds just drop off. But here's the thing, I have lost weight. I have lost 65 pounds in the past. And I put it all back on clearly because I told myself I couldn't have certain things. And then I eventually wanted to have it because I said, no, you can't. Now what it is those people who seem to like not have issues with their weight, but you watch them eat cake and things that they want. Like you watch them eat the foods that they want, whether it be sweets or just normal food, but they are not heavy. Those people are usually people who already know how to eat intuitively, but they don't know that that's what they're doing possibly. Like there's not a label on that. They just eat until they're full. They're the people who are like, no, I'm full, I don't want any more. And you're like, what the heck, that's steak or ribs. Finish it anyway. Who cares if you're full, right? That's how I've been in the past. And I am no longer that person because I am constantly evolving. And being a perfectionist and trying to get back to intuitive eating is a difficult thing. So I'm trying to let go of the perfectionism. And so far, so good. Every day I learn something new, and a big part of intuitive eating is not like eating mindlessly, like in front of the TV. I still really like to do that. So sometimes I struggle with it. I want to sit down and eat a bowl of ice cream or whatever it is that I have in front of a movie, right? But then I'm not really able to tell when I'm done eating the ice cream, when I have had enough. And when I say when I've had enough, when my body is telling me, okay, you're full. So I'm definitely not perfect, but I'm moving forward and I feel better about food now than maybe I ever have because I'm not afraid anymore. So these are all such great things that are happening. And in my future videos, I'm sure I'll talk about intuitive eating. I will bring it up, but I'll also talk about other things. I'm constantly learning other things. Because I'm a new business owner with teaching about essential oils, as well as I am a massage therapist and opened my own practice, I will be talking about those kind of things sometimes too. Essential oils have changed the game for me. They help me get through things physically as well as mentally. So I may be talking about that, or massage or stretching techniques, or I will just be telling you things that help me be successful as I am jumping off into this huge journey of being a small business owner and of learning more about myself, of choosing not to diet again and not to have a diet mentality. So if any of this sounds interesting to you, if you'd like to watch my future videos, I will continue posting, even if they're not perfect videos. And like this one, I don't really know what a perfect video would be, but if you would like to follow my journey and continue forward with me, I would love to have you. And if this is something that you feel like might help someone else, would you share it with them? I will continue, like I said, continue posting, and just pay attention to usually the topic of my video, or the title will kind of tell you what I should be talking about. So anyway, thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time.